to Roast Mortem, your number one guide to fitness and all things good. My name is Tom.
I am a Travis. I live.
I will be your Cody for this evening.
And over the Skype tonight, we have very special guests from Podcast 1289. We got Jesse Pollock and Dan Jones.
What's up, nerds?
What's up?
Oh my God, that's who that is. Hi.
What's up, guys?
Howdy.
How are you?
Doing good?
How's things going? How you doing? What's happening?
I'm drinking bourbon in the apocalypse. What could be better?
Oh yeah, man.
So Mike didn't make it here tonight because he has coronavirus.
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
So he
Wait,
might
really?
be dead.
Are you serious?
I have to assume so.
Oh,
He kick. Well, no, he'll beat it. Don't worry. He'll kick flip over that bug. He'll be over. Yeah, bro.
rest in peace, Mike. Long live
Yeah,
Mike.
to Mike. Woo.
He's not dead. We just want him to rest peacefully for right now because he's staying.
He did
indoors.
text me before. He said, have a good show tonight. Guys, Cody, what's up? And Travis, hopes you're dead soon, too.
Hey, Mike is the only one that agrees with me on this show because we're so smooth.
Yeah, the smooth
That's
brains.
what's going to save us. The virus is going to come in and it's going to slide right off because we got the smoothest brains.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how you've made it this long.
Couldn't tell
You
you.
know, it's evolution.
Wonderful.
Darwin said
Yeah,
the
there
smoothest
you
will
go.
survive.
That's what he said, verbatim. You got it.
It was just about this whole thing, not turtles or birds or whatever the fuck that book's about.
Nah.
Right? Fucking Beagle Town.
What about you, Tom?
Me, I'm working at home
Learning.
like usual, but for some reason I have no motivation to do anything. I don't want to do anything anymore. I think I'm going to
Make an
retire.
omelet.
I think property is going to go way the fuck down after this whole thing, so I will be buying. And
Vulture capitalism.
yes, that is me.
Yeah.
I'm going to get in so many wills this next couple of weeks. I'm going to do so many favors for old people, and hopefully they won't
you've been
die.
doing that too?
Hopefully they won't die because of this, but they will die eventually. So I'm in the money. What else is going on, guys?
How's it in paradise, Cody?
It's good. I realize, a little closer to the equator, but that means, my 80-degree weather is already here. But I
Yeah.
have to be on fucking lockdown with the rest of the nation for, I don't know, solidarity or something. Fucking stupid. But
Yeah, you don't even count solidarity. You're all the way in the Middle Pacific. Shut the fuck up.
yeah, technically America still, so.
Technically, like Puerto Rico.
So, Dan, what's going on with you, man? How are you holding up?
Fuck you.
I'm doing all right. I dodged a bullet. I used to be in restaurants, but now I don't do that anymore. I'm in IT. That happened
man.
in November, and I guess I lucked out, so that's it for me. Well, it's all
There you
just a
go.
steady decline from here on out, I guarantee it.
PTO, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But it's
God, I missed that.
it's great. It's all right, but it's still like, holy shit, this is happening.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's like something out of one of the shitty short stories that we wrote in college.
Never finished a single one of them.
Nope, you can't, because if you finish them, then it happens. That's why all the shit from Stephen King books keeps happening. It's because he finished those books. And you know about Stephen King?
cunt.
He always has shitty endings, so that's why we're getting the shittiest realities.
Okay, so I knew Stephen King was involved, but I thought the reason that college short stories never get finished is because if you finish them and you save them as final, Stephen King comes to your dorm room and mouth fucks you until you hand over the rights to the story.
I mean, that's
That's
true.
what happened to Christine. She got
It
mouth
is.
fucked.
No,
My
Christine
Maz
got
Baz.
fucked by one of those dudes from, what was that show on TLC where, people that wanted to fuck cars and balloons were on?
Oh,
What was
yeah.
it?
My
What the
Strange
fuck was
Addiction
that?
or something like that.
Yeah, and there was
Yeah.
the other one, the ripoff of it. I think it was called Vice or some shit. I don't know, but yeah, that's what happened with Christine. She got raped by a guy with an anime body pillow in his living room. But
Oh my god.
I didn't
Weird that
like
it
the
says
story.
living room.
Blame the fucking Mainer that wrote it. But no, that is one of the reasons. The other reasons why you never finish your college short stories is because then you have to come up with an excuse as to why you haven't sold them yet. So
Always
true.
be working on
We
it.
couldn't sell our shit. We were
you go.
we were taking way too many social cues from South Park at the time, and it just did not age well.
Yeah, it was no. Well, it wasn't as bad as we thought. It wasn't as bad as the fucking movie script that Chef Bagels and I were writing in high school. Like, I remember like when we were hanging out with Brendan Brown from Wheatus, and we told him like, yeah, it's so weird that we're like hanging out working on this documentary together because like when we were in high school, we wrote the screenplay for a movie and we were gonna have your song in it. And he goes, oh, that's cool, man. Can I read your screenplay? And he's like, and I'm like, absolutely fucking not.
Yeah,
like that can never leak. My career will be over.
Rights to the song first, sir.
there you go.
Yeah.
Quid pro quo.
Give me half the royalties to Teenage Dirtbag, and then we'll talk.
Yeah. So Jesse, by the speed of your conversation right now, I'm assuming you're doing pretty well in this situation we are dealing with.
All right, I'll put it this way: you ever seen The Shining? It's much like that. I am on like day 3 of The Shining right now, being holed up in the flatlands of Ohio, and
He can see Indiana.
Is there a hot chick in your shower?
That chick was hot to you, Travis?
Yeah. Why not?
first.
It's a naked chick.
I'm gonna let you handle that response.
Necrosis is sexy.
That was the first movie that introduced me to furryism. Because there's that one scene where that guy's getting a blowjob by a fucking dog man.
And that's true. It is a dog. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's a dude in a pig costume." I'm like, "No, it's a fucking
bear.
dog."
Well, it's a dog, but I would bear over pig, to be honest. Bear pig. There we go.
Pulling it back.
Yeah, in the book, it's a dog. Like everyone's like, "Oh yeah, that's how weird Kubrick is." He threw that in for no reason. I'm like, "Nah, there's actually like a whole chapter devoted to it in that doorstop of a fucking book. It's weird." I'm not even joking.
Yeah, the book
I believe you.
It's good for different reasons, but I mean, I like the movie overall.
So we're talking authors already. Who is on our
shit.
choppy son?
Look at Travis doing a little segue off
Hey,
the
there
cliff
you go.
there.
Professional
there you go.
podcasters over here.
I love it.
Hell yeah.
Tonight, we are doing a master of literary horror. We're doing the one, the only, H.P. Lovecraft. Who knows anything
Christ.
about that guy?
Old Howie P himself.
I've been waiting so long to shit on this guy.
So
I mean,
this is the guy that, like, when you watch the animes and tentacles go in the pussy.
We're going to talk about tentacles and stuff.
Yeah, yo.
I don't think it was, I don't think those circles coincided. I mean, not until, like, way after his death, but...
No, I like Lovecraft, though.
This guy made tentacles sexy without the Japanese part. You know what I mean?
Huge influence on a lot of different media. I'm sure we'll get into it.
Yeah, some silicone
allegedly. I doubt a lot of that. I think a lot of that is just PR. And I'm sure we will get into this in the episode, but I just want to say this off the bat.
Like, yo, we got to lock down this tentacle pussy thing.
I think it's like David Bowie. Like, David Bowie got famous, and he's another piece of shit that we should talk about on the show sometime, as you mentioned in the Stevie Ray Vaughan episode. David Bowie literally got famous by hiring a manager that just went around England telling everyone, "Oh yeah, David Bowie is famous." And everyone else was just like doing amyl nitrate poppers in London, going, "Oh yeah, really? Right on. We'll book him then." And Lovecraft, I believe, is the same way, because everyone's, oh my god, H.P. Lovecraft, he is the single biggest influence on modern horror. And it's like, well, if he is, how come every time they adapt one of his works, they change 97.3% of it?
That is an excellent point. What was that movie? Tom, you saw that movie. What was that?
Reanimator?
The new Nicolas Cage one.
Color
Not
Out of Space.
the bees, my eyes.
With the color out of space, which is apparently purple.
Yeah,
It was a good flick, man.
I did enjoy it.
Howard Phillips Lovecraft was born August 20th, 1890 in Providence, Rhode Island. His father was a traveling salesman grappling with undiagnosed syphilis, and his mother hailed from a seemingly prominent, but in all likelihood, inbred family. So
the best kind of syphilis there is, where undiagnosed, where it's like, damn, Dad's dick is leaking and he's going crazy. I wonder what's causing that.
We just had a deep dive. If you listen to the last episode that just came out, deep dive into syphilis, and you rot.
Excellent.
You're a rotty boy. You just your head turns into what looks like my feet. There's holes, there's craters, it smells.
Yeah.
Lil Howie Lovecraft, he's just sitting there in the parlor of his Victorian fucking Rhode Island home, just looking at his mom with his teeny little mouth and his weak jaw, just like, Mom, why does Dad leave a trail of mayonnaise wherever he walks?
Oh my God.
Due to the leaky mayonnaise everywhere, Lovecraft's father suffered a psychotic breakdown and was swept away into a lunatic asylum before HP ever even really knew him, when he was roughly 2 years of age. So, like, his dumb little
some
inbred
kids
head
have
didn't switch
Paw
on
Patrol,
yet.
some kids got insanity, so,
He's got both.
That's true.
Look at HP's the lovely nestled center of this Venn diagram.
So I'm guessing that's where Arkham Asylum came from then.
Yes, yes.
I've never heard the term insane asylum used as a term for another woman's house.
Yeah, it's just there. At the age of 5, HP was attending a funeral for one of his grandmothers. The woman in his family took to wearing the traditional ye old black mourning dress, with like the veil and like the brimmed hat. This visage gave rise to one of HP's more potent recurring night terror characters he liked to call night gaunts. He describes them as veiled Slenderman type beings that wielded tridents and were capable of flinging you through space and time, whether figurative or literally throwing people. So,
man, and I thought like people I went to school with were fucking weird for liking too much Gundam. Thank God I never ran into anyone in middle school that was just like, there are women with veils and tridents, and it's like,
oh man,
Oh, we had people like that at our school, but yeah.
Yeah, we had those kids at my high school. They're fine. They were mostly harmless. I
yeah,
hung
the
out
trench
with
coat
them.
kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Most of them don't
yeah,
become
mostly
authors.
harmless, especially since they.
Well, that's true, but one of them did become very racist.
Oh yeah,
Like our boy tonight.
Saw that coming.
yeah, they're mostly harmless now that they've laid down on the railroad tracks and all.
Yeah.
They don't do much
That's
nowadays.
a long way.
Yeah.
It beats paying the MTA prices.
There you go.
There you go.
This economy?
Suicide is the clear option.
I always wanted to be a Slender Man, but I was not slender enough, so I'm just a big boy and I throw things.
Oh yeah, I feel you, bro.
Hey, man. Density is terrifying.
You're just a
Yeah,
bender,
right?
man.
I feel outnumbered for the first time. Usually I just make fun of Travis for being a big boy, but maybe I'll shut up
Yeah,
this
no.
round.
You better watch your mouth. We'll
No,
eat
just
you.
copy and paste the different names into the insults. It'll work fine. When HP was old enough to realize his father was absent in his life, his family lied to him, claiming his father was essentially a non-communicating vegetable that was brought on from overworking. Like, oh, your father worked so hard to provide for you that he's just
The
he's
struggles
just
of the working class.
Yeah.
Am I
yeah,
right?
he's just drooling in a bed somewhere.
He worked that pussy so hard.
Yeah, Tom, I'm going with your theory. I think he's a vegetable in little
Is it?
Kathy's jacuzzi next door.
Right.
He's just chilling.
Like a cucumber.
Zucchini.
Little HP is like, is that my daddy? And he's like, fuck off, I'm banging this whore.
I gotta make you half, brother.
Yeah.
I like the concept
That'd be
of
like if he was in Brooklyn. You got to remember, this is in Rhode Island, so he'd be like, "Fuck
Rhode
off,
Island.
Howard! I'm fucking this whore."
Yeah, right.
where's my clams?
Where's my clams, Howard? I'm getting crabs, and crabs are great with clams. You get it? That's a STI joke. That's Massachusetts. That's
Yeah, who cares?
Massachusetts.
It's all the same.
They're all the
It's
same.
fucking same.
There's
Yeah.
another one you could do for roast mortem. That legendary shithead JFK.
Oh, well, yeah.
We touched on him during the Sinatra episode, right?
Yeah,
Oh
he's-
yeah, that's a good one.
Briefly.
Man, you should definitely have Jesse on when you do JFK.
I'll just do JFK the whole episode.
Now, I'm not the one to tell you that happened, but
Who are these idiots on roast mortem talking smack? I
me,
will call
Cody.
my brother Bobby and have you thrown in a Cuban jail.
I'll take it.
This lie was perpetrated just so the young HP would never meet his raving lunatic of a father. HP's
It was
father,
for the best.
yeah. I mean, smart
what his
move.
family was thinking. Yeah. It's like, you need none of this, boy.
I mean, look at the way that he came out without the father. Imagine, like, how much more fucked up, like, the Call of Cthulhu would have been, like, if he had mayonnaise fucking dick in his life.
I think the
Yeah.
only difference would have been all the play with like the time vortex and how he messes with that dimension, that would be totally gone because a dad wants shit done now. Like, I need the garbage done now. You know, so everything would just be immediate. Oh, Cthulhu was there right now. He is on your shit. He is tentacle fucking you.
Climax of the book would just be like the 6th page in. And
I'm just saying, what's wrong with mayonnaise dick? I love mayonnaise dick. I wish I had ranch nipples. I wish I had mayonnaise dick.
You need to stop with your condiments.
You go to the right places, you can get that too, my friend.
Oh, maybe I should open up a bordello of ranch. A ranch bordello.
Yeah, Travis is
the ghouls
south of the
from
bordello.
the crypt with bordello of ranch. That was the direct-to-video sequel to Bordello of Blood, Bordello of Ranch. It was not popular.
H.P.'s father died in the asylum when he was only 7. The young H.P. Lovecraft was in need of a father figure within his crazy father's absence, and so H.P.'s rich as shit maternal grandfather, Whipple Phillips, stepped in.
Whipple?
Wait,
Whipple.
say his name again, please.
Whipple Phillips. It's a good old-timey name.
My grandfather, Whipple Phillips, who raised me from when I was just a lad.
So I'm making a shrimp tank again. I don't know. I didn't tell this in the house this week, but I'm starting another shrimp tank. And,
Thanks. Good segue.
Yeah. So how's my week making a shrimp tank? But anyway, you guys didn't ask.
I never asked you.
We never.
I think I'm gonna name most of my shrimp Whipples. Like this is Whipple Johnson, Whipple Jones, Whipple Boy, Whipple Cream.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
You know when you're at like a Home Depot or Ace Hardware, you're in an aisle looking for some shit, like, because I just screw things together all the time. So this happens to me constantly.
Yeah. I see.
Where I'm standing in the aisle and then I overhear a conversation where people are talking about like types of bolts and things I've never heard of. Whipple Phillips. Need a couple of these 1/4-inch Whipple Phillips.
Oh, yeah.
Make this air conditioner spit out hot gravy.
You'll look so cool around all the other dads. Because they'll be like, what's a Whipple Phillips? I've never used one before.
Yeah, and like dads do, they just nod and pretend they know what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah, Whipple Phillips, for sure.
Oh, you don't know what a Whipple Phillips is? Well, I guess that's because you don't have testicles.
Yes, I'm emasculating you in front of everybody.
In a hardware store, no less.
So what's wrong with Whipple Boy?
It's his maternal grandfather. He's rich as shit. He's got a mansion. And Whipple would do this thing where he would just entertain young HP with off-the-cuff ghost stories, which he was admittedly really good at.
All right, that's a good granddad thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
All my grandfather told me about was just the war.
Well, that's about a bunch of ghosts.
Too.
That's about a bunch of ghosts at this point.
Yeah, there you go. He was just, not as future as your grandfather. So
my grandfather told me conspiracy theories about Lyndon Johnson, so I think we all lucked out here. We all hit the lottery on cool shit.
So these improvised ghost stories featured winged monsters and ominous unseen growling horrors. Maybe the seeds of, HP's future writing. But probably not a coincidence, but at the same time, HP began suffering a different night terror featuring faceless, ghoulish tormentors. So, he got the whole, the faceless nightmare things, stalking him, which is a fairly common night terror that most people have.
Yeah, Tom, you've talked about with me. We both had weird night terrors when we were a kid.
Yeah, but I've come to terms with it. It's just a raging boner that looks like a man standing over me.
It's faceless. Oh my god!
No, I used to have a faceless.
It had one eye.
Oh,
so
yeah,
you mean to tell me in Halloween 2 when he's got the sheet over him, that was inspired by an under the sheet boner?
Well,
it's fucked up.
I mean,
I can't deny that, but yes, that is what's going on.
I used to have a faceless Abraham Lincoln boy, creep into my room. He was so big, he was taller than the doorstop. Doorstop. That's a small boy.
Yeah,
taller than the
4
door.
inches tall.
No, taller
What's
than
a fucking Abraham Lincoln?
Yeah, no,
boy?
he'd sneak into my room, and I don't know if this is some weird repressed memory I'm telling on air right now, but he'd sneak into my room and get closer and closer. I feel like a lot of kids have that problem. They should make a pill for
social
it.
distancing.
So what made him an Abraham Lincoln boy? Was he tall with a beard, or did he have a hat?
No, he just had the beard. He didn't have any eyes or nose. Just beard boy.
So
he was a faceless child with a beard.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
My God.
Is that why you bang with an Abraham Lincoln hat on now?
How do you know that, Tom? I
We've
haven't
all
talked
seen
about that on
Daily
the
Motion
show.
video.
Yeah, but
I always have my
Maybe off
Nico
air.
pillow next to me when that's going on.
you have told me things off air. That
No,
I
that's
like
actually just a coincidence. He read in Mademoiselle that it's the new summer trend.
Yeah, dress to the left, wear the hat. So he's got he's a kid, barely even 10, and he's got like these 2 recurring night terrors that, he goes out of the way to name and describe. So no fucking surprise that he gets, these rampant bouts of insomnia. But because he's from a stupid rich family, they just let him skip school. He's like, "Mommy, had bad dreamy," and his mom's just like, "There, just sit in your bed and
Head dreams, yes, of course.
stay home from school."
We have money, dear. You don't need to learn words or math.
New England money. Yeah.
New England money. That was like real Fulton money. That's a scab wad.
Yeah, that New England money. I before I moved out to Portland, I took a little like trip around New England, and those houses there, like during that we're talking about the turn of the century, the Gilded Age. That's just the closest America has to like castles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they paid like a nickel in fucking taxes.
Damn millennials complaining all the time.
So, not too atypical for a child of his age, HP began suffering from nyctophobia, aka the fancy word for the fear of darkness. However, Grandpappy Whipple wasn't raising no pussy, as Whipple drilled the fear out of HP by blacking out the windows of the family manor and having HP stumble around the mansion for an evening or 2.
Man, aren't your grandparents' houses the
Fucking
best?
like this. I fucking like this.
That's great.
I remember Grandpappy Whipple. That's what my dad used to drink before he'd beat me with a rubber hose.
See, I fucking like this. There needs to be more grandpas today willing to smack the bitch off of these Zoomers. You know what I mean?
Yep. I'm
Like,
all for it.
I want you to imagine.
I want a role
Stop
reversal. I want
flossing, for
I
fuck's
want a
sake.
role reversal. I want the 7 grandkids to do that. The Grandpappy Whipple.
If Grandpappy Whipple's a boomer, yes.
Yeah, you just turn the lights off, and they're like, "Oh, where's Grandpa? He has dementia, but he's floating
leave.
around the house, tripping over things."
Are you trying to say that this elderly gentleman is a sundowner and they just turn the lights off in the house to fuck with his mental state?
Or get him over it, which to some degree was effective.
Yeah.
But I just like this practice. Like, I want you to imagine, like, here's Timmy, and Timmy has a fear of heights, and he just gets dropped off at his like grandpa's house. And Timmy's like, "Oh, what are we doing today, Grandpa?" And then, his grandpa's just like, "We're huffing ether and waltzing on the chimney tops until you figure out how to stop
Hell
being a
yeah.
bitch."
Step in time.
You know what I mean? Just-
I just made a ladder. It's 2 ladders put together.
That's what that scene in Mary Poppins is all about. Dick Van Dyke's huffing ether, dancing on the fucking rooftops of London. Hell yeah.
but you're doing it so your grandchild stops being a bitch.
It's just something about the turn of the century, man. It was a different time.
Put this knife in your teeth, son.
I think around 2000, I got rid of my beeper. Yeah, it was a different time.
It's not murder if you aim below the waist.
That's true. No, it's below the knee. Don't forget
There you
that
go.
femoral artery.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Could just nick it.
I'm from New Jersey. These are life skills out
A
there.
little kiss. During HP's truancy from school, he'd go through the ancestral home's sprawling library, fancying the combination of fiction and scientific journals. HP fancied the polytheistic epics of ancient Rome. He thought it was way more exciting to have more than one god, because like once you have more than one gods, you can have allegiance, you can have betrayal, you can have incestuous fucking.
Pretty par for the course. Like, that's what Greece and Rome was doing, right?
So he's like, "Wait a
Egypt.
minute. There's Zeus, but guess what? Tentacles."
Later in his life, maybe.
Call it the
I
Kraken.
can see that. If you want to really simplify that into a fucking nutshell, Travis.
Yeah.
We need to fucking address this really quick because I'm getting a buzz on and I'm remembering things now. The connection with the tentacles and shit. Like, I always remember, and like, Dan, you know more about anime than I do because I hate anime.
No.
That's true. I'm a recovering weeb. Really just taking it one day at a time.
Recovering, you're building a Gundam model as we speak.
You know what? Sometimes you just got to dip your toe back into it, man.
Sometimes.
Just to remember it.
All right, so he's basically like, as a recovering weeb, he's like an alcoholic just having one spiked seltzer. Let him have it. It's fine.
Yeah. So I don't know if this is a weeaboo urban legend or not, but I was always told that tentacles in anime exist because it's illegal to draw a dick.
No, that's true.
That's true.
And so Japanese people are like, we could get around this if we draw a tentacle in her vagina instead. And the government was just like, damn it, you got us.
So that's true, but it is deep-seated than that. And we might get into that later, a little future predicting. But Cody, let's get there so I can talk about tentacle porn.
Tentacles, somehow sexy. So HP is realizing, like, gods are way cooler if they have, like, fucking other characters to, like, dick around or help. So, March 27th, 1904. Grandpa Whipple suffered a massive stroke and died the following day.
Hell yeah.
HP was heartbroken, but after sifting through Grandpappy Whipple's records, a dark, ghastly secret reared its monstrous head. Grandpappy Whipple wasn't actually wealthy.
Okay, 1904. This is the early 1900s dark. So
yes.
That's like turbo dark what we got now.
Very dark.
Yeah, this is like 4-year-olds working in a fucking shoe factory dark.
Working in a shoe factory with like 12 people under him dark.
Yeah, dog. I mean, that's not that bad.
Bangladesh now.
Mm-hmm.
That's not that bad. I think kids should be stacked on top of each other and told that they're worthless.
That's what public school's for, dude. Haven't you?
Just because that's what you got doesn't mean that other kids should get that, Travis.
Yeah, all right. It's 1904, dog.
Dude, 1904.
All
right, hold on. So
I could kill you and get away with it. Like,
just as a big rip of crystal meth. It's 1904, dog.
Yeah.
So HP Love Sauce finds out that his grandpa is not rich.
Yeah, his wealthy grandpa isn't actually fucking wealthy.
Poor bastard.
Little Whipple boy.
Oh, no.
So wait, syphilis? Not rich? Did he have a TV show? Or is he
the grandpa was fake rich. The dad was the syphilitic one. But it's all in his family.
Damn.
It's all funneling into like the miscreant that is HP.
That's actually what All in the Family was about, starring Carol O'Connor. That was the whole plot of All in the Family.
It was less to do with racism, I swear.
Most people don't know that.
Within a week of Whipple's death, HP and his mother were evicted from the now foreclosed manor. The two had to eke out a very meager living from the confines of a tiny apartment where each had their own brand of madness starting to develop.
Oh.
Excellent. It's like Psycho without any of the charisma.
That's accurate.
So, coupled with an onset of teenage angst, the 14-year-old HP frequently contemplated suicide by drowning himself in a river. Barrington, to be exact.
So he's listening to Drowning Pool.
Yeah,
straight up.
My Chemical Romance.
Don't talk to me, Mom. I'm going to go listen to my Nirvana records and fantasize about drowning myself.
Yeah, God damn these swimming lessons I took.
Yeah.
Where are my floaties?
God damn it, Howard, I told you, stop listening to Elliott Smith and get out of the damn bathroom.
It's not a river.
Water everywhere. We're not getting our deposit back.
This fucking little shit kid is a fucking Wes Anderson character. I hate it.
Please, Cody, continue.
Because our boy HP was a truant fuckwad, the anxiety of being in a classroom with people eventually ended his scholastic endeavors altogether. He dropped out of high school and would never entertain the notion of enrolling into a college.
He's ahead of his time right there. Like there's kids now that I'm too anxious to attend mathematics. I'm too anxious. I don't want to learn Spanish. Because I'm too anxious.
Excuse me, math is a trigger for me. Yeah, he's like a fucking a professional Tumblr poster.
Yes.
My anxiety dictates that I cannot learn multiplication.
Throughout this entire episode, we will be learning that HP is just a man out of his time. He is so future for like 1909. He really is.
Very good at social distancing.
Yes. Excellent. So he would become a mama's boy, living in this cramped apartment with his mother. That's not the worst thing in the world. However, as previously mentioned, HP's mummy dearest also started to get crazy herself.
It's like an Ari Aster film.
HP's mother became verbally abusive and a recluse who would not miss an opportunity to call HP disfigured and grotesque. She convinced him
Excellent.
She
Are you
convinced
sure
him,
she was crazy? I think she's pretty right on with that assessment.
Well, she convinced him that, he needed to stay alone at home with her during daylight hours because, his mother would be like the only person to, suffer his appearance.
Wow.
Oh.
Just so we know, I put a fucking... Yes, there's a photo of HP in our chat right now.
He looks like he's got a bird in his mouth.
Honest opinions right now. Is this man good looking?
Honest opinion, he doesn't
No.
look too weird. He's got a butt.
He doesn't-
chin.
he-
I mean, that's weird.
Yeah.
He
He's
looks like fucking young Lurch.
Okay, but here's the thing.
People take bad photos.
It's not a bad photo. I think this guy's very average, especially for like 1910.
But also, Cody,
All right.
do you think he was actually wearing a suit or one of those like things they put on you when you were in high school? It's like, oh, you're wearing a suit. But
No,
It's a fake
it's
tie.
a T-shirt from Spencer's Gifts.
yeah, with a shirt.
It's like the T-shirt you
stapled
get
onto
with the
it.
tuxedo.
It's 2 napkins.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a terribly bad-looking guy.
No.
He does have the male equivalent of resting bitch face. He always looks like he just caught you like double dipping in the guacamole for the party. You know what I mean? Like that's what.
Just constant disappointment.
The best way to describe this picture of him, I don't know, maybe he has different angles, but he looks like a weenie.
He looks
Yeah.
like
Like a
he looks
weenie.
like you could push him down a couple times.
No, Travis, listen. I've seen many pictures of him. He looks like that in every. He looks like fucking Ruth Bader Ginsburg in
does.
every photo of him.
He's only got one look. He's only got one look, but it's not a horrible look.
So for those men who are listening, if you remember that girlfriend you had that was a bitch, that's what his face looks like. All you women out there, stop looking like this.
But like, there's a thing with just the way that H.P. Lovecraft looks. Every person that is like him looks just like that, though.
Yeah.
What kind of sentence was
100%.
that? People that look like him look like him?
I mean, well, all right. So Cody
No,
just
people that are like him look like him. Like
Okay, so his personality has
yes,
a visual
exactly.
type.
That's what his
Okay.
personality looks
Okay.
like.
right. So we posted an older picture of him here, and it looks like, you could probably anally insert his head into somebody's butthole,
And his
but
face wouldn't
Yep.
change.
he still looks like a weenie.
Oh, okay, this is happening. All right.
Yeah, he always looks like he's
Just a
mid-proctology.
constant disappointment.
You know who he looks like? Who was that dude on Hey Arnold that was always breathing on Helga? And like
Brainy?
Helga would break his nose in every episode.
Was it
Yeah,
Eugene?
no,
Brainy.
No.
It was
No.
Brainy.
Brainy.
Eugene was the kid that tucked his shirt into his underpants.
Yeah.
Yes. And
There you go. I don't think he's
Exactly.
he's grotesque or quote unquote
Yeah, he's not a
disfigured.
terrible looking dude. He's just
No.
he's painfully average.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a 7.2 on a scale of 10.
that's very generous, Cody.
He drinks chai lattes.
That's generous.
This is a fucking podcast, guys. This is not a visual representation of anything. We're not doing any justice whatsoever. No one's going to laugh at this part. We know that. Come on, let's get to the next part, Cody.
Nobody laughs at any
Everyone
of us.
knows what Lovecraft looks like. He's a
right.
fucking weenie.
Who's
He looks like he's
laughing?
made out of fucking baloney.
Excuse me. All right, so he's got average
Bless
looks.
you.
And thank you. Coupled with some newly manifesting phregophobia, that's the fear of the cold, HP himself would become a recluse and shut the world out. He would only go out after sundown, and he would be those kind of guys that like pop the turncoat collar all the way up to his like
Took up
sideburns and
vampire
always like
hours,
looks
all
down.
right.
Yeah. So he's doing like the
Gross.
goth thing
He's
before
the
it's cool.
proto-goth kid, yeah.
So during HP's time as a recluse, he started to read, believe it or not, romance magazines. Namely
More
one,
painful than love.
namely one called the Argosy.
Hot and steamy.
You may be thinking, what the fuck is the master of horror, H.P. Lovecraft, doing thumbing through girly magazines? Simply put, HP was bored out of his mind, and he loved to hate on the drivel trapped between the pages of the Argosy. Yes.
It's like the 14-year-old Fedora core atheist.
No, these are the people that are like, oh my God, like you like that? I'd never even done it before, but guess what? Paintballing's gay.
It's basically like me having watched every single episode of The Office, hating every part of it.
Yeah.
So, to channel his hatred, HP would frequently pen countless letters to the authors and columnists of the Argosy, explaining how shitty they were at writing and using the English language in general.
You think that's how you make a dick get hard? I will show you how to make a dick get real hard. You have no idea how to use grammar to make a dick get hard. I will show you.
Yes, requisites for hard dick. Good grammar.
Long sentences.
Ready for this? Rhyming sentences. HP
Gross.
rhymed all of his fucking letters.
So wait, you mean to tell me he was like Eminem? He's sitting there penning his
Fucking
rhymes.
future HP Lovecraft, dude. He's ripping
I am
diss
a
tracks.
lyrical, mystical.
his diss
Wow, did you
tracks
see
are
how
against
white his
whole races.
video feed got?
My penis is hard. I like lard. Your article is bad.
Almost.
C+, Travis. So he's doing up hate poetry to
Wow.
he's doing hate poetry to strangers over the mail because the internet isn't around yet. So he's a virgin, self-identified atheist, still living with his mother, who has nothing better to do than troll romance writers. He would be on 4chan if you gave him some Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, God.
Is he Moot? Mute? What's his name?
It's Moot.
Moot.
No, it's Snacks. Bring back Snacks.
No, the guy who started 4chan.
He's boxy.
Yeah, Boxy. Boxy.
Wow, we just showed how old we were.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right? Jesus
The
Christ.
original
So-
Ethot.
I don't know. I just got Netflix for
Wow.
the first time. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Netflix, all right. HP's keen ability to more or less deal out the 1914 equivalent of diss tracks caught the attention of Edward Dawes, president of the United Amateur Press Association. Dawes, impressed by this troll's writing style, hired him on the spot as an essayist. So he's like, hey, that kid's pretty good.
Hey, you write like a jerk. Come on over.
There you go. Let's be an amateur. So this gave HP a paycheck and a means to avoid his mom just a little bit more. He could afford to go out for lunch, eat a hamburger sandwich, drink a pot of coffee, and just avoid the bitch in general.
You know, okay, you said hamburger sandwich.
Yeah, hamburger sandwich.
Yeah, we are in New England, where you can go to the original hamburger place, Lou's.
Hamburger sandwich place.
Yeah, hamburger sandwich place. It's literally a hamburger on 2 pieces of white bread, because New England is the most white place ever.
Of course.
I just love the term hamburger sandwich.
Yeah,
so
it's a
fucking
hamburger
much.
sandwich.
I did that in New Jersey, but it was just called poverty.
No, New Jersey has Italian
French.
people. They're darker than New England.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
They tan.
There are some white people that say Italians aren't even white, and that's
Yeah.
more racist than Lovecraft.
Are you sure about that?
Nah, I don't know. It's close.
We'll find out. We'll find out a little bit later. Wink, wink.
Do we have any
Mystery
pictures
predictor.
of H.P. Lovecraft in blackface?
No, but I've got a picture of Ava Braun in blackface, if you can believe it.
Wow.
I don't.
I would.
No bullshit.
Inspired from his newfound job and acceptance from amateur press friends, HP flexed his fiction muscles hard. But if you're wondering who are these friends, it was Robert Bloch, a.k.a. the writer of Psycho.
Psycho?
Psycho, yep.
Oh, man. Does that mean that he based fucking Norman Bates and his mom off of his buddy Howie?
Maybe.
I hope so. Holy
That'd be
shit.
interesting.
Ooh, yeah.
Other Robert E. Howard, who wrote Conan the Barbarian, and and August Derleth, who wrote nothing even remotely as memorable, but he's a key player that'll trickle back into the Lovecraft legend just much later down the timeline. So I want everyone here to remember the name Derleth, August Derleth.
Grill. August,
Close enough.
August Krillin.
August Krillin. Thank you, Travis, for
Thanks.
confusing everyone. At 27 years of age, HP penned the story of Dagon. It's essentially a maroon sailor stumbles upon ancient and spooky architecture in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. The tale features description of a fish-like man a species that predates all of humankind that worships a evil god that is nameless in the story Dagon.
So here's the part of the episode where people are gonna get either wet or hard because fish people love to fuck everyone. Mm-hmm. And I'm just saying, if you've got a fish penis, at me.
Oh man, that's why fucking Guillermo del Toro made that fucking that water movie. He's a big Lovecraft fanboy.
No, Jesse, that's not a movie. That's a porno.
It's a documentary.
Pornography. That was on Brazzers. It was actually released in Brazzers before theaters.
Direct to Brazzers, the new Guillermo del Toro feature.
Have sex with a fish. Listen to podcasts.
Which is funny. Is that maybe that's why Guillermo del Toro looks like Peter Griffin? He just loves everything that comes out of Rhode Island. Family Guy, Lovecraft.
Yeah, clams.
Clams. Who doesn't love a good clam?
The only reason we do this show is because clams.
Ciao, dear.
Yeah.
Yep. All of our Patreon just directly to clams.
Sorry, guys. It's all going to me. Clam boy.
Clam boy RD.
You don't have to apologize.
Resident
we know what we signed up for.
Himself.
You're very clamboyant.
Oh!
Hey-oh!
Travis has a new tattoo idea.
I can see into the future, and what I see is a shelled animal that doesn't have eyes or brain.
Clamvoyant.
Oh.
Clamboyancy.
I'm just saying that's what this virus is all about because it's a next step in earthly evolution to the next superior animal, a clam.
Stop thinking.
They should have never given white dudes like us the right to speak. Anyway, let's move on.
Or microphones. It's weird.
Who gave us a platform, honestly?
Divine Providence.
Manifest
Which
destiny.
is what H.P. Lovecraft was all about, apparently.
H.P. Lovecraft loved
Providence
Providence.
isn't even that great.
He loves it for some reason.
There's no sales tax. They got that big ass mall. Province is cool as fuck.
They got that shit in Delaware, too, and Delaware sucks.
Well, it keeps the people
I've been
there.
to Delaware. That's true.
So, Dagon...
Well, didn't like
Providence is pretty great.
Isn't Lovecraft's grave, doesn't it say,
I am Providence?
Thank you for history
Like,
predicting. We will get into that and the spooky alternative meaning that could possibly have later in the episode.
Ooh, I love spookiness.
Thanks for the spoilers. Yep.
Dick.
Dagon
Boo.
earned HP a bit of notoriety and proved himself as notable within the fiction writer sphere of Who's Who. In 1919, HP's mother suffered a similar breakdown as HP's father had, just without the mayonnaise penis.
Everything is better without mayonnaise penis.
Debatable.
I don't like dry sandwiches, man. I'll take anything over a dry sandwich.
Yeah, I'm just saying. No, dude, there's so many times I get a dry sandwich, and if I had a hose attached to my body that could make mayonnaise, I'm just saying. Next step in human evolution, looping back to Darwin, looping back to oh my God, wow, why are humans wrong?
Travis, we have been over this. You cannot excuse your further regressions as the next step in human revolution. You are regressing.
I am not regressing. This is called.
This is like the end of Flowers for Algernon, but with, like, disease come.
I don't know about that, man. If you see, guess what? What's cooler than just white? Rainbow-colored cum.
All right, that'd be dope. It'd be like Fruit Stripe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like fruit by the foot.
Travis
No,
only lasts in
it's
bed
like
for 25 seconds.
Yeah, it's like fruit by the foot, but it's fruit by the rope.
We need to get in on this. This is like when Newman and fucking Kramer would get these schemes on Seinfeld. We got to patent this.
I'm saying, Joe
Rainbow
Rogan,
rope.
I'm coming for you. You got pills that'll make you strong in the alpha male. I'm gonna give you pills that'll make you fucking grape cum.
Sans mayonnaise penis, she went also crazy and died 2 years after, entering this asylum, but she didn't die from the crazies. She died from a fucked up operation after her gallbladder started seeping.
Ooh.
So, I guess the
That's
asylum
seeps.
doctors aren't, top notch.
Well,
Graduated at the top of their
that
class.
was
Half of them
that was the
probably-
inspiration for the board game Operation. Was H.P. Lovecraft's
Yeah.
No,
mom.
that's like back in the day where like doctors were like H.H. Holmes, where it was just like you would go to a medical board and they'd be like, "Are you certified?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." Oh, okay. He said so. I guess it's true. Yeah, no, that's when you could just like kill people with morphine and cocaine and be like, "Well, I guess I better move to the next town over and change my name."
Keep it
It's
going.
all in
Being
the
a
sake
fake
of
doctor.
helping. Like, we should still have kind of a bit of a loose grasp on what helping is, because if you let a lot of people go by cocaine and morphine overdoses, do you think they're going to come back and haunt you? Do you think their families are going to muster up the courage to call you out for that? They asked for this. They signed up for this shit. You want some blow? You want to blow yourself to death? Great. You want to fucking morphine all the way out? It's fine. We need more of that, not less of it.
Well, maybe they don't come back and haunt you because, like, maybe the high transfers over to the next life. Just like, you know, babies being born on heroin and shit. Yeah. What if you die from an OD? You're high in the afterlife.
You do, like, live in the same clothes you died in, right? So you got that forever.
Yeah.
So, with Mummy Dearest out of the picture, HB had to move in with two of his stodgy, crappy aunts. They kind of constantly voiced their disapproval of everything HP did. Shortly after the death of his mother, HP attended a United Amateur Press Association conference held in Boston.
Bastard.
Boston. All of a sudden, this Russian Jew of a bombshell walks into the joint and gives our boy HP fuck-me eyes. Said Ruski... There you go. It's what they do. Said Ruski went by the name of Sonia Haft Green, and she was 7 years older than our boy HP.
She's half green?
Haft Green.
Oh, hell yeah.
Purple, I guess. Is that? No, that doesn't make any sense, Cody.
That's kind of reminds me of, like, you know those chicks that have, like, the half dyed hair? Right?
Yeah.
But, like, half pubes.
Haft
Green pubes.
Hey, I like a man with small mouth, because you know this means extra small dick. I'm really lesbian.
Wow.
You have small mouth. You hone in on the clit.
Oh, wow. So HP, the painful introvert shut-in he was, didn't know what to do with any sort of female admirer. It would later be revealed that Sonia was HP's quote-unquote first kiss.
Aww.
Did she miss?
It's a small target.
Small mouth. I said it.
Small, miss small, you know?
Ew, girl germs.
So, in order to coax the 33-year-old HP into losing his virginity to her, Sonia had to gift him textbooks explaining how to bump uglies and grind sillies.
Imagine having to coax a fucking horror nerd virgin into fucking you.
She needed to. We don't have to. She did it for us.
She's the real hero of the story.
That's the best thing I've heard on this podcast.
I mean, really,
ever.
though? Is that heroic?
You okay, Tom?
Yeah, it just caught me off guard. We deal with so many
That
filthy
happens.
fucking animals, and all of a sudden we got this guy who needs a fucking textbook to figure out how to get his dick into a hole. Like, I get it. I was 15 once. I remember trying to do that. It was like, oh,
33.
okay, after 20 seconds, figured out what to do. But this guy needs a book. I don't read books. I don't know what that's like.
It's like the 40-year-old virgin, but with a lot more racism.
Yeah, he was 7 years from being the 40-year-old virgin.
Do you think, like, he made her call him the N-word while they were screwing or something?
No.
I'm just spitballing here. I know he's
I
a
don't think
racist
so.
weirdo.
He's not a kinky racist weirdo, though.
Yeah.
I'm just trying
Sonia.
I'm trying to figure out how, like, I'm turning 32. Like, if I didn't know how to fuck, like, a year from now, like, what? If I don't know how to
Really
fuck,
waste your 20s.
yeah.
I mean, sex,
you'd have a lot more
sex
free
is not
time.
everything. Sex isn't everything,
come on.
but back then, sex was pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Now, not so much. Now there's, like, streaming and Nintendo Switch and, like, Loot Crate.
Yeah, well, nowadays it's all about eating ass.
And Xanax.
Yeah, Xanax, eating ass, and Loot Crate. Welcome to the 21st century.
Good. Just imagine, like, shaking hands with a time traveler. Like, welcome to 2020. This is what we do.
Yeah.
Pick up. Yeah.
Hey, if you're time traveling here, you might want to try a different year.
Well put.
Skip it.
We don't know how far you have to skip, but just not here, Pilgrim.
Maybe that's why we're not sure if time travel is real yet. Maybe they all picked 2020 because it was a nice even number, and the second they got here, they died of coronavirus. So we have no confirmation that time travel is real.
Or they just noped back to 1990, and they're just like, oh, super soakers.
Yeah.
Hey,
luck.
check it out. Ace of
Bye.
Base. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Creepy crawlers. Hell yeah.
So, Sonia would later inadvertently characterize HP's lovemaking with the most scathing adjective a woman can weaponize to describe a man in bed. Satisfactory.
Oh,
Dude, that was
Adequate.
the best grade you could get when we were in grade school. S.
That was the best grade you could get.
What are you talking about? That's the best one, right? S. It's like Crazy Taxi.
No.
It's like I saw an ad from like the 1920s the other day that underneath it said whatever, I can't even tell you what the company's name was, but it says like so and so is adequate, and that was their slogan.
Yeah.
If Sonia
It's like,
called
we're not going to blow your mind, but
It's
we
good.
can do it.
It's all right.
It'll do.
if Sonia called HP's lovemaking abysmal, HP could just be like, bitch is a hater. But because she called it satisfactory, he's just got to be like, satisfactory.
Nah,
He's gotta-
he would
he's
have
gotta
loved it.
stay
He
on
loved. HP loved the abyss, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's where the tentacles are.
yeah.
He would have, like,
That is amazing. I have written a terribly worded story based on this.
March 3rd, 1924, Sonia and HP kind of look at each other and were just like, okay, this is fine enough, and they got married. Their marriage was held in secret as they eloped afterwards, and they wanted to avoid HP's bitchy aunts that never approved of anything because, sure enough, they did not approve of the two's union.
HB, you don't kiss me like you kiss her.
Yeah, aunt kissing. That's a perfect way to describe, like,
You mean
HP's
old
romance.
rich New Englanders have opinions? Holy shit.
Weird, right?
Yeah, they have opinions on their neighbors. That's about all.
It's like Marge's sisters on The Simpsons.
There you
I
go,
need
Selma.
Yeah.
Yep. Your boy, H.P. Lovecraft, chose the most romantic city of Philadelphia as their steamy honeymoon.
Ew, ew.
A scintillating
Fuck
erotic city
Philadelphia.
whose name literally translates to brotherly love.
Yeah, well, also, it's like, what they
Ain't
just
Latin
skipped
fun.
the cake and just went for, like, a cheesesteak, just, like, put the candles in the whiz. All right,
Yeah,
what are
hamburger
Genos?
helper,
What are we
hors
doing
d'oeuvres.
here?
I like how
Wit.
Jesse's reaction was the most
Put a candle
Jersey
in it.
thing ever. Like, oh man,
Yeah.
like 50 miles from where I live, that's disgusting.
I'm gonna tell you the most offended I've ever been in my life, and don't worry, it's a short story. About 11 years ago, I went and saw Blink 182 live in Camden, New Jersey.
That is offensive.
At, it's like some fucking PNC Bank Arts Center or some shit. And anyway, Mark Hoppus, after doing like 4 songs, gets up to the mic and he's like, "How you doing, Philadelphia?" And I was just like, man, if I ever fucking wish that Mark David Chapman was out of fucking jail at that moment, it was that one. It's like, don't you ever fucking call me Philadelphia again, motherfucker. But the joke's on him because he lost the most talented member of his fucking band, so.
And he lost it to a good cause, which is the truth.
UFOs, the truth.
It's gonna be awesome when Tom DeLonge gets fucking disappeared by the CIA so we can do him on roast.
No, he's not going to get disappeared. He's working on 5G right now. That's why we're all getting sick. The 5G
That's true.
conspiracy? Tom DeLonge.
I don't know the 5G conspiracy. What the
Oh,
hell's going on?
apparently. So the 5G conspiracy is they just started launching 5G across America. So the coronavirus is tied to 5G. It's making us all
Wait,
sick.
Tom DeLonge believes
No,
this?
I don't know if he does, but that's like a genuine,
okay.
down to earth, like the earth is flat, down to flattest earth conspiracy that 5G is causing the coronavirus.
Are they trying to say that you can transfer coronavirus through cell phone signals? That's fucking retarded.
I love it, though.
No, dude.
I might sign up for this shit because I love the
Brain cancer,
newspapers.
yeah.
I love all the fucking emails I get from all the conspiracies I sign up to, which I don't talk about that
Oh, we're going to
publicly.
be doing a little bit of that tonight.
All right.
Yeah.
You call them conspiracies. I call them facts. Sheeple.
All right, Cody. What's Love Boy?
Yeah, what's new with Hewlett Packard Lovecraft?
Hewlett Packard Lovecraft just had a lovely Philadelphia honeymoon. However, during the train ride to Philly, HP had misplaced his manuscript he was working on at the time and used the
How do
entire
you lose
honeymoon.
something like that?
He used the entire honeymoon rewriting it instead of fucking his newlywed.
That happened to.
Yeah, that's all right. She probably had a dick anyway, so whatever.
Yeah.
That happened to
you saying, Travis?
J.K. Rowling.
Oh, did
She
it?
flushed her original manuscript of Harry Potter on the toilet paper she was writing.
I needed that.
No, it was like she somehow had an airline toilet in her home and it just sucked it all down.
She's watching it spindle off. Like, people in 2020 will need that.
Ronald Weasley, what happened?
Guys, it's true. J.K. Rowling takes big meaty dumpers. That's a true story.
And that's why she uses toilets as means of travel in the wizard world.
Magical.
Fuck J.K. Rowling.
She sucks.
Your boy HP moved into Sonia's New York City apartment later that year. HP started publishing his pieces in a periodical named Weird Tales, and Sonia opened up a bourgeoisie hattery. So she's like, I'll sell hats to rich people in Brooklyn.
That is the most Brooklyn. This guy really is before his time. Like he's he's married to this chick that's making hats in Brooklyn. Come on.
Yep.
Not just any hats, it's bourgeoisie,
Yeah.
so it's just like, they are literally the couple
got lace.
you see on HGTV on House Hunters every weekend. Hi, I'm Sonia. I own
that.
a artisanal hattery, and my husband Howard writes tentacle porn for Weird Tales.
We'll take the 2.
Our budget is $2.2 million.
Our budget is the national revenue of Italy.
So they're doing their thing. Life is satisfactory at this time. Until Sonia gets a crippling mystery illness. We're not sure what it was. She would eventually recover, but during said recovery, her bourgeoisie hat store goes bankrupt.
That was back when diseases had like fun names. That was probably called like the Violent Idol or some shit.
Yeah.
Is that what Jenny from Forrest Gump died of?
I can't remember. Just a mysterious oopsie disease. In the pursuit of employment, Sonia decided to separate but not divorce HP. She moved to Cleveland for a job opportunity. HP was just like, yeah, I'm an East Coast boy. I'm going to stay right here. Romantic.
Cool.
Yeah, really.
That's weird. You would think like a xenophobe would hate being in the melting pot that is Manhattan.
Spoilers, he fucking did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So HP did what any
There you
struggling
go.
writer amidst a financial troubles would do. He got a tiny apartment in Brooklyn and hated life.
And the people around him.
And all
He's
of
just
the
sitting
people.
there he's sitting there in fucking Bushwick blaming everything on the Welsh for some fucking reason.
Your words do not have vowels.
I am going to get rid of all of the vowels and all of the Italians.
In that order, Brooklyn, the bustling cultural melting pot it was, infuriated and brought out the turbo racist that lurked deep within the introverted HP.
I saw Turbo Racist as CBGBs in 1992. They sucked.
Yeah, not a great opener.
No.
So, at this time, HP likens minorities to subhuman monsters or as perilous contagions. And if you will be so kind to as indulge me with a poem by H.P. Lovecraft.
Oh, no.
Hey, I love
Brace
poems.
yourselves. When long ago the gods created earth in Job's fair image, man was shaped at birth. The beasts, for lesser parts, were next designed, yet were too remote from humankind. To fill the gap and join the rest to man, the Olympian host conceived a clever plan. A beast they wrought in semi-human figure, filled it with vice, and called the thing a nincompoop. And when I say nincompoop, I might have had
Holy
autocorrect
shit.
on when I
No,
transcribed
you don't
this.
understand. I'm using it like Eminem uses it.
Still unacceptable. So,
That's terrible.
as previous.
Yeah.
Racists are the dumbest fucking people on the planet.
Yeah. 100%.
Entertaining, though. The title of this jaunty poem is On the Creation of Nincompoops.
Yeah.
God, what a piece of shit.
Yes. Further, HP's noir detective story, The Horror of Red Hook, has the gumshoe protagonist discover the literal gateway to hell is within New York City's housing projects.
But that's true, though, so we'll give him that.
Okay, yeah, he gets a pass on that one.
Very candy.
Yeah, it's just off the Cross Bronx Highway.
HP once referred to Alabama's string of rampant lynchings as a necessary extra legal measure.
Oh.
That one I hadn't heard.
Oh, Holy shit.
Oh man.
And much later, when Hitler seized control as Germany's chancellor, Lovecraft stated, "I know he's a clown, but God, I like the boy."
Well, all right, I got to give him that because, like, most of what we know about the Holocaust we learned afterwards, so he was probably just like,
Oh, yeah, that Charlie Chaplin guy with the weird shorts. Yes, I'm sure it'll go well.
supposedly later he was supposedly horrified by the Holocaust, but I don't believe it.
I mean, it's a good cover-up. What do you think about the Holocaust? Bad.
Bad.
Bad?
I agree with Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just take a moment and realize his wife is a Jew.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah.
Remember that.
but vaginas are different. We all know this.
He didn't seem too enthusiastic about jumping into bed with her, though. Maybe he was terrified that it's like,
We might create a mongrel child.
Well,
Oh my
right,
God! Thank you for history predicting.
I was gonna say a lot of his shit is about, like, with Dagon, is about banging, like, elder god
Yes.
fish boys.
yeah.
So, like, is it
Thank
not
you for
like
the
an
segue.
allegory towards?
Yes,
Okay.
Travis.
Here we go
Interbreeding.
with the fucking fish people.
Interbreeding is an allegory for HP's latent racism. And we can see like the emphasis in two of his stories I would like to talk about right now. One, Shadow over Innsmouth, great aside from the slight racial undertones. And the second story I want to talk about is facts concerning the late Arthur Germain and his family.
Banger of a title right there. Just rolls right off the tongue.
Catchy 14 syllables right there.
Yeah.
The Shadow over Innsmouth has the protagonist come to discover fish-like creatures have surreptitiously infiltrated and inbred with the population of a small New England town called Innsmouth. Innsmouth doesn't really exist, fiction, but the protagonist learns his family tree is rooted in Innsmouth and he himself is part mermaid by blood. The protagonist then goes insane and presumably drowns himself in attempt to reunite with the fishier side of his family tree.
If you're on Tinder for like a day swiping, most of these women are gonna say, "I'm half mermaid." Yeah. So again, ahead of his time, he's trying to hook
Very.
up.
Merman.
For real, we know a guy who thinks he's a vampire. What makes that any different?
We all
from
went to
this?
high school with one of those dudes.
Oh, yeah.
Dan, you went to high school with the guy that thought he was a werewolf.
That's true. I'll save it for another time, but that's true. I did.
Wow.
Here's the thing: is like, didn't they come out with like a Pixar movie not too long ago, like Howard and Me, or
Finding Nemo?
no? It was.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It was called Howard Phillips and I think it was like the Underwater Kingdom or something, but I was just like, do we really need a kids movie about the guy that wrote on the creation of Blankers?
Yeah, right? Like, so they're coming out with kids'
Yeah.
movies. Oh, Cthulhu's. I feel like when you see, I mean, we're not even up to Cthulhu yet, but like, when you see these pictures of cute Cthulhu, and like, this guy's a fucking raging racist.
Also, Harold von Braunhut. Turbo racist that also had a predilection to sea critters. Weird.
Racist,
Well,
just like
I
the
mean,
fuck fish.
I think that's like a spectral thing that like racist weirdos like to latch onto. It's like the most opposite thing from humans. Like, we're mammals, and what's the opposite end of the scale?
A
is gonna
tree.
be like things that drink water. I mean, breathe water.
Canadians.
Yeah, Canadians. Sammy Davis Jr. from Canada. That's as far as you can get.
So
from,
Drake,
Yeah,
Drake.
baby.
The Satan's just as powerful as God, you know.
Spooky.
Yeah, Satan's as powerful as God, Eddie.
If I was a racist, that's the route I would go to.
The second story I'd like to talk about, facts concerning the late Arthur Germain and his family. Banger of a title, as previously stated.
Yes.
It's a story about a British nobleman that discovers his thrice great-grandfather, whilst on an expedition, bangs the daughter of a Portuguese trader. However, it is... Wait for it. However, it is revealed that she was not actually Portuguese, but rather an albino she-ape.
She ate.
Wait, what?
That's pretty fucking racist.
Who the fuck published this shit back then?
Weird tales,
I don't know.
right?
Weird tales. There you go.
Got
There
so
you go.
drunk couldn't tell the difference between a bald ape and a fucking Portuguese person.
That's why you don't vacation
Albino.
in those.
That is like No, that is like he got paid for that story. This was before Zanga and shit like that. That is like someone getting paid for the 1920s equivalent of that chain letter or email that your aunt would send you saying, "Oh my God, this couple went down to Mexico and they thought they bought a dog and it was a rat." You all remember that shit?
It's weird.
To be fair, I have been drunk enough where maybe I would have made a decision like that.
Tom,
But
you almost bought an iwi together, collectively.
What's an
that's
iwi?
music, that's art, that's different.
It's an electronic woodwind instrument. It's the electric guitar
okay.
of clarinet.
Yes.
It's also
I'm saying-
$600.
You bought a battery-operated recorder?
A $600 battery-operated recorder.
Hot cross buns.
Well,
Yeah.
at least the two of you were thinking of going in on one and not.
We gotta share. That's what I.
Yeah, we're going to
The
share.
iwi bros.
Yeah, you gotta
So,
share the
Louis-
phallic objects between your friends.
I just got to tie this back. Cody, the story about a man who goes to, thinks he has sex with a Portuguese woman and then it turns out to be a albino ape. I have been drunk enough where I might be able to tell that story, but the joke would be on me. It wouldn't be on the ape or the Portuguese.
Yeah.
You know
The
what I
ape
mean?
made out like a bandit.
Yeah, exactly. I made that
Yeah, like
ape's
someone-
fucking year.
Someone paid him money. Like, he made rent that month on a fucking shit tier beer goggle joke.
Dude, do you know how much, Jesse, do you know how much money people make on DeviantArt? More than we do. To draw
Probably.
personas? They get paid thousands
print
and
account.
thousands of dollars to draw, like, oil paintings of your persona. So, you know what? HP's killing it.
Quick diversion.
We should switch to Discord very quickly.
I remember I was at a 4th of July celebration in the local like park last year, and for some reason a furry showed up there, which of course they have every right to do, but
I don't
they
know
made
about
the
that.
total they made the total mistake of walking past the child's playground, and all the kids like thought it was like a birthday party animal, so they were just following this furry around the rest of the night. And I was like, he is either having the worst night of his life or the best night of his life.
It's probably hard as fuck.
Yeah, this is,
If it was a he.
Maybe.
that's a really dark story, Jesse.
Yeah.
Let's hope he wasn't. Moving along.
Yeah.
So this guy finds out his great-great-great-grandfather banged an albino she-ape, and upon figuring out, like, oh, I'm the genetic result of literal monkey business, he just douses himself in oil and burns himself alive. He's like,
Metal.
That's what happens when you don't graduate high school. You don't realize that is physically and biologically impossible.
What, to light yourself on
Right?
fire?
Oh yeah, good
No!
point. No. With
To
the
fucking-
hip
to have an-
crossbreeding.
To fucking ape and birth a living human.
I don't
human.
know. I've seen some weird porns.
yeah, that's you, though.
Yeah.
What, did you see the porns from 9 months later?
Yeah, that was a part of the porn. You have to wait. You just wait there.
You have to
for
wait.
A while.
It's a
It's a
sequel.
li-
You gotta wait.
live action
It's a
pornography.
whole thing. It's this really weird avant-garde stuff,
Yeah.
man.
Comes from
You
Russia.
got to go to underground video stores for them, and they give them to you. Like, remember how Encyclopedia Britannica was sold in like 40 different books when the internet was on paper?
Yeah.
It's like that, but all on VHS.
Right.
Pornhub.rus.
Oh, no. Never. So,
I missed that
a
season
lot
of
of
Chernobyl.
HP's horror revolved around the main character realizing there was a fish, monkey, or probing eldritch tentacle in his family tree and then killing himself.
Some people deal with things differently.
He could also just choose not to mate, but whatever.
Yeah. Some people podcast. Just as a side note, HP was super clever and subtly jokey with his word choice. The Shadow over Innsmouth features a description of the fishy villagers as offish. And if you just insert one space into the word offish, you get a description that is literally of fish. It's a joke. HP's clever. So
This fish is off.
Yeah.
foreshadowing. It's a twist. I like the story. It'll be relevant later when we talk about his epitaph.
That's like when you wake up the next day and you're like, why does my beard smell like fish?
There's only two reasons
Because
that
I
could
was
happen.
of.
And then you find yourself in a Long John Silver's dumpster. It explains
Like
everything.
this.
Yeah,
As you had no chance of getting laid the night before because you were a hot fucking mess.
Intravenous antacid.
Oh, why am I having diarrhea? Oh, because I wasn't drunk and went to Long John Silver's.
Sponsor us. So,
Send your money now.
cheeky puns and legendary racism aside, HP the
Legendary.
Brooklynite was broke as a joke, angry at the world, and distastefully tired of anyone who was off-white. HP wrote to his two aunts whom he had left after eloping with Sonia and asked his aunts for the means to move back to Providence. The aunts would allow this, with the one stipulation being that he had to ghost his wife permanently.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
So we're talking. This
HP
is like do the right thing, but instead of the Italian man owning the pizzeria, we got a racist New Englander.
Rest in peace, Danny Aiello.
Yeah.
You were the real one.
HP quickly and almost too easily agreed to this condition. He moved back with his aunts and returned to Providence April 17th, 1926. He would never see his wife again. Sonia would later reveal HP never once used the word love during their so-called marriage.
Wow. That
Satisfactory.
takes commitment.
Yeah.
Especially if
I'm
that's
sorry,
half of your last
what
name.
do you expect? You know, like, yes, that is sad. But what do you expect when you marry the weird agoraphobic fucking racist that needed Encyclopedia Britannica to figure out where to put his dick in you?
Well, he's an incel. He's like the first incel.
Travis, hit the nail on the head.
But
I wouldn't fuck him.
Yeah, how could you look at that face? You want that staring back at you?
I'm gonna say it's like. I mean, I feel like. All right, HP. I kind of understand. Because I feel like 90% of the time you're kind of guilted into saying those things.
Into saying I love you? Yes, absolutely.
You're like, there's some pressure.
There's an economic alternative to that cannot be found in the moment.
Yeah.
I just want to be like, bitch, I love you, but you didn't deserve that.
Yeah, you're like, I want to keep having sex.
Know your place. But whatever, let's move along.
Yeah.
Upon leaving Brooklyn, HP declared, not even the threat of damnation could induce me to dwell in this accursed place again.
I agree.
Yeah.
The return to Rhode Island seemed to rejuvenate HP's writing chops. HP had whatever the opposite of writer's block is.
Yeah, but
busted
remember,
out.
we have real quick. We have
He had
different
confidence?
reasons. Like disclaimer, we do not agree with him for the same reasons regarding Brooklyn that he does. Like he doesn't like Brooklyn
Right.
because there are non-white people there. I don't like Brooklyn because there
Thank
are
you.
people like opening up artisanal silly string factories.
It's
and
too
shit,
much
so-
white people. Too much white people with money.
Yeah, I'm thinking of starting a noise band.
Your boy HP busted out The Color Out of Space, The Shadow over Innsmouth, and At the Mountains of Madness, all in rapid-fire succession. It was, his best works. And here's where HP invents horror fiction's favorite sleepyhead, the dread elder god Cthulhu.
Oh,
Aw.
wait, you talk about that
And he's so
Metallica
cute.
song that's like 45 minutes long?
Oh yeah, I forgot
don't
about
know.
that.
But I never, they're not singing in it. Where's the voice? Earl.
Yeah, it's for the best. Yeah.
The elder god Cthulhu has been invented, and HP's amateur press circuit friends thought Cthulhu was the shit.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Over the span of a decade, the group lore crafted and built what is known today as the Cthulhu mythos, a universe of unfurling cosmic horror where humans have no other roles than to discover and suffer the consequences of the ancient terror.
I mean, it's a good angle. I'll give it that.
It's good angle, and the thing
Yeah.
is, like, right now, when I researched the Cthulhu mythos, I was just like, shit's cliche. I'm like, who are they biting on? Oh, wait. Lovecraft. You know what I mean? It seems cliche because it's
right.
like
That's
passe
like
for
when you
like
read
me.
Tolkien and it's like, oh, elves. Whoa, cool.
Look at this.
And it's like this
Look at
dude
nerd.
wrote a fucking language about it. You know what I'm saying? It's not cliche when you made it. Like Legolas. Legolas is still hot nowadays. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen him in a while. I haven't
Tolkien
Rona,
didn't
but
write
you know.
Legolas. And just for the ninnies that are unfamiliar with the Cthulhu mythos, Cthulhu is a giant elder god of unspeakable power who sleeps in the depths of the Pacific Ocean.
He's got a squid face.
He's got the squid face. He predates the dawn of humanity. So squiddy face, tentacle beard, clawed hands, bat-like wings. The mere sight of him causes the rapid onset of violent madness, and Cthulhu's dreaming causes the whole of humanity to suffer from low-key but constant anxiety.
Well, that's
Ripped off for Pennywise, and he wasn't that the whole thing with the deadlights? If you looked at Pennywise's true form, you would go insane, or some shit.
Well, yeah.
I'm sure.
I mean, that's the whole thing
like
with
a spider.
Cthulhu, with Lovecraft, right? Is that you can't actually, like, the human brain can't comprehend these gods.
Which is a great trick if you can't write.
Yeah, right?
You don't want to describe shit.
I don't know.
the thing
You
is,
just
like-
can't tell. I don't know. It's great.
Its
It's great.
horror was indescribable.
Yes, he slumbers in the underwater capital of R'Klaya, waiting to awaken, and which point he would either conquer and destroy all of Earth. And as previously mentioned with Dagon and the Shadow over Innsmouth, Cthulhu has a cult of immortal fish-like worshippers that do his shadowy bidding from the depths of the ocean. And Cthulhu even has a cosmic family tree, where his great-grandparents are so incompatible with human understanding, they are simply referred to as the Darkness and Nameless Mist.
Do you think Cthulhu's grandparents are like the fucking Loch Ness Monster always asking for 350?
Yeah, it is
Tree fitty.
tree fitty, but whatever
Yeah.
the cosmic equivalent of that is, I'm gonna need about tree fitty.
Oh, yeah. My grandparents, they're dead. They got cremated. They're just missing nowadays.
Yeah, nameless mist and darkness. The allure of the Cthulhu mythos is the fear and consequences of the incomprehensible.
Which is a lot if you don't graduate high school.
I forgot to. It's a shit ton.
The world's not as simple as you need it to be.
Oh, I forgot to say this trivia. Cthulhu isn't even the Elder God's true name. It's just the closest a human set of vocal cords can get. Like, I thought that was kind of cool. And we discover here is like one of the first times the tentacle is used as a horror device. Up until H.P. Lovecraft, monsters were like horned and fanged. But now, HP's like, I'm rocking this new school with
Check
fucking
this shit out.
Yeah,
with a
coochie
weird
coo.
tentacle.
Coochie coo,
Yeah.
bitches.
That tentacle's gonna touch you all weird.
And you gotta think, some people have never seen a squid.
Yeah.
Jules Verne had flirted with it about 50, 60 years before them, but that was more in the realm of sci-fi as opposed to horror.
But it's just supposed to embody this, like, ooh, alien, you don't know where that thing's
may
been.
have
like,
been to
rise and
Italy.
Right,
feel
but
it.
I mean, there's
What's
also
on the other end of it?
there's also the Kraken, right? I mean, he's tentacled.
Yeah.
But like I know what you're saying
Yeah,
is that
yeah.
the 1800s especially, I mean, we're mainly focusing on
It was really easy to scare people back
fangs
then.
and plague.
Yep.
Yep, Fangs, Plague, little Dracula.
Well, Dracula,
in the mix, but
if you
other than
look
that,
into,
like,
and this is why a lot of people don't like talking about it, if you look into the history of what we know of as modern horror, it is all racism allegories. Like, the whole Dracula mythos is like, oh, it's this dirty plague bringer from Eastern Europe bringing death with him.
Oh no, the Slavs! The
Yeah.
Slavs!
Oh,
Yeah,
a
careful.
tall albinist man
Well,
who's
well,
asking
I mean,
me
I-
for money and bread.
I think that's what's interesting about horror in general, because you see the complete opposite when you look at George Romero with like Night of the Living Dead, where that allegory was just like, oh, the dude's black, everyone hates him, like, and they shoot him at the end. You know what I mean? Like, so I think horror, it plays on fears so well that, like, I don't know, I have a fear of my penis going into my butthole, because like I don't want to rape myself.
That
I don't
happen
want to
for
rape
you?
myself. You know, I would, because it wouldn't be
That's some
consensual. It wouldn't be
that's some
consensual.
Stuart Gordon
So
body
that
horror.
could be horror.
Yeah, Travis, that did happen to you once when I was hanging out with you. We were sledding as
Oh.
younger men, and you were
Yeah.
they were going down very fast, and the bottom of your pants ripped, and the let's put it this way: the top of your dick caught friction, rather.
Friction.
And
it was
and
red and
friction.
brown.
Yes, red and brown. And that's how you raped yourself that one time.
And now I'm a famous racist author.
that writes too much about tentacles. So, just to put the whole Elder God cosmic vibe horror into like mortal perspectives, I want to take a quick detour of this podcast and talk about David Lyle, just so we can set up like the vibe of cosmic horror that HP wanted his audience back in the day to get. So David Lyle, sometime in the 1890s, David was a lighthouse keeper on the Stephen Island off the coast of New Zealand. And in order to not be so fucking lonely as he, did his lighthouse guy things, he brought his cat with him, Mrs. Tibbles. However, the course of the year, Mrs. Tibbles slaughtered every wren on the island.
I've heard of this
Not
boy.
for food, but... Yep, there you go. Travis knows. Not for food, but just for sport, because cats are fucking assholes.
No, cats are the best. I mean, that's pretty smart. If I was a cat, I'd be like, guess what? I don't want any of these things here. And I'd get rid of them.
Yeah.
This is my house now.
Yeah.
But turns
I don't
out
need any of this shit.
these birdies were native exclusively to the Stephen Islands, and Mrs. Tibbles had wiped the whole species off the fucking face of the earth.
Bad luck to kill a seabird.
Yeah. So Mrs. Tibbles was responsible for an honest to goodness
like me
extinction
cooking?
event.
And we
Nice.
and it's still and we still like cats. So to be fair,
Yeah.
we're being really hard on ourselves for just so happening to be making the world disappear into volcanic ash of
Funny
plastics.
you mentioned cats. Do you know what H.P. Lovecraft's cat's name was?
No, I don't.
It was N-Word Man.
Whoa!
You didn't know that?
How did I
Oh
miss
my
that
God!
one? Thank you.
Oh, God.
Thank you for the assist, sir.
He made no secret of it because he named a cat in one of his stories the same name.
That's awkward, too, because you have to say that name to have the cat come.
Yeah, it's kind of like, what was that movie, Dan? Was it the Dam Busters? That World War II movie, and they had a black lab named after the N-word in that movie?
I haven't seen
You
that
haven't
one.
seen that
I don't
one?
know.
Oh, I thought you had
Oh,
seen it.
look
Maybe
it
it
up.
was Jeff that I was talking to about it. Yeah, anyway, there's
Probably.
there's a World War II movie from like the 50s or 60s about a British platoon, and they have a black lab that follows them everywhere, and they name it the N-word. Because you could just do that shit if you were white back then.
Yeah, it was fine.
The dog's not going to
Okay.
object. These wrens that were slaughtered had no concept of a cat up until Mrs. Tibbles. Every single member of their species died from the elements or
Apex
age.
predator.
There you go. Apex predator to a naive species. The wrens didn't know what a cat was. They didn't know a cat was a killing machine to be avoided. And they certainly didn't understand why David brought the cat, why David needed to be in the lighthouse, what the lighthouse was doing for the ships at the sea, or even if there were ships in the
But
sea.
that works
So
for
it's-
birds, because birds are fucking dumb. Whereas
Yes.
humans look at, like, large things and go, that's probably dangerous.
So I shared this so you can imagine humanity being the wrens.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine there's an apex predator that you have no idea even exists or what it can do, and like that it could wipe out your species in the course of a very short time. So like I want you to think like a wren and have that be like the horror
Be a
that
stupid
HP's
bird and
trying.
have a
Yep.
smart cat come for you.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
And the smart
Something
cat
that is
being
way
Cthulhu.
better than you in every facet.
If you're a bird and functionally retarded, like, yes, that makes sense. But if you're a human being looking at a gigantic squid creature with bat wings, even the dumbest human would probably go,
Yeah, nothing good's gonna come from that.
There you go. That's the unique gist of the Cthulhu mythos and the slight appeal behind it. When I say slight, I mean the earnest appeal behind it. Humans are exceptionally fragile and laughably ignorant amongst an adult swim of elder gods and unraveling cosmic plots. So, back to our boy HP. 1932 rolls around, and one of HP's disapproving aunts kicks the bucket. HP and the surviving aunt have to resort to moving into another tiny apartment. At which point it seems like it's a fucking reoccurring theme in this guy's life.
Yeah.
Like, oh, someone I marginally had some slight human emotions for departs my life, tiny apartment.
so he's also still a time traveler. Because if you lived in nowadays, it's like, I don't know, my parents, they're moving down to Florida, so I'm going to move with my uncle, and, I can't afford rent.
See, yeah. Fuck it, no.
well, that's probably why he believed in that whole elder god mythos shit, because it was, for like someone who puts so much stock in race politics and capitalism and caste systems and all that shit, like, he probably blamed his ever, like, suffering, falling down the rung of social statuses.
The gods must be against me.
Or something.
Yeah, there's a squid in some fucking puddle that hates me right now.
Yeah.
That's how I felt until I had squid ink pasta, and I was like, I overcome my gods. I just ate it. I ate that shit. Don't worry about it. What's the next guy we're talking about? I'm drunk.
Ability to segue
Yeah, I'm
is
pretty
just
drunk, dude.
ticking
I know,
down
it's been
throughout
slow
the night.
progression.
Much like HP's social status, it just keeps declining and declining.
Downhill.
He started
Yeah,
with
so-
0, so it's
I mean, he started in a fake rich family, which is better than just a not rich family.
Yeah, the faux aristocracy of Rhode Island.
So here we are again, our boy H.P. Lovecraft in a tiny shoebox that somehow has monthly rent due. A keen ninny would point out why such a humble lifestyle for our master creator here. Didn't this dingbat just blitzkrieg author a slew of masterpieces? And yes, this is true, but the concept of eldritch terrors lurking in the murky depths was slightly too highbrow for the smooth-brained, Great Depression-affected American
Yeah, it's back
reader
when
of
they
the day.
paid you like a hay penny for per like sentence. Back then, there wasn't a whole lot of money.
Right,
I
yeah.
mean, there's never been a whole lot of money in writing.
No,
but,
no.
Oh yeah, side note, you need to call this episode on the creation of ninnies.
No. Maybe.
well, I mean,
Me over.
Well, hold
Yes,
on.
exactly.
So we've got an Jesse.
Life was already horrific
Jesse,
enough.
you've mentioned, I think, that you're a professional author, and
He never mentions it.
and Cody, like, it's like a professional wrestler, right? Like, I don't know, you take your shirt off, you write some letters, and so Cody, this guy uses very verbose words. Like, he's like a slippery boy when it comes to, like, these. He says words like vegetable and shit. It's got a lot of syllables and stuff. Like,
Yes, that's
so
true.
like, can people really understand what he's talking about back then?
No, because here's I throughout this podcast I use the term fish-like to describe the villagers of Innsmouth. H.P. Lovecraft refers to them as ithiithic, which is just the same word, just Greekified.
Yeah.
To the point where no one uses
Yeah,
it
they call
anymore.
them $10 words. Yeah,
Is that so?
Yeah,
From an author's
$10.
perspective, Jesse, he's using these words just to fucking beef up his prowess.
it's masturbatory.
We hate people like that. They're hacks.
He's trying
Okay.
to give himself a style which was successful but at a horrible cost. You know what I mean? It's just like, I'm going to use big words. No one can fucking understand you.
Right. So, like,
Yeah.
I used to, we mentioned on all of our Goof Troop episodes, Tom, I mentioned I used to read Jack Kerouac when I was a kid because I thought I was cool and I smoked cigarettes. And I also read
You still
Lovecraft.
smoke
And
cigarettes.
literally, I would sit there, read Lovecraft, read half the words, and be like, I don't know what that means. Whatever. It's
Yeah.
scary. Like, and I imagine if I'm doing that with the person that has internet, someone in 1930 is like, I don't know, like,
Yeah, there's no you can't Google definitions of words in 1930s. And also, Great Depression. Everyone's trying to figure out how to make fucking stew from pocket lint and gravel. They're not
Yep.
gonna go fucking read, fiction at this point in time.
I want to know what the man with shitty legs is gonna do for us.
make America have shitty legs again.
So I don't blame these Great Depression guys for not being on board the Lovecraft train at this point.
Okay, fair enough.
So yes, HP was spurting out the thick white ropes that were his masterworks, but there was no gaping, quivering market for which he could capitalize all over.
Yeah, you just gotta cumst in it.
Interesting fact, around this time, renowned escapologist Harry Houdini was a lazy fuck that no longer wanted to write his own autobiographical blurbs, so he befriended and employed our boy HP. So HP Ghost wrote for
Oh,
Houdini.
shit.
Yeah.
And
Two nerds working together, huh?
yeah, just big old
The con
broke
artist
friends in
and the
a pond.
racist. It's like the new Green Book.
So, yes, he got a paycheck from Harry Houdini. However, most of HP's paycheck went to rent payments. HP would purchase heavily discounted cans of expired food in order to survive during these trying times.
Oh, he's a fucking cat food old lady. Hell yeah. Love it.
And he's 40
Serves him
years
right.
old.
Hot.
Good start.
Hot.
This would be a frugal yet highly moronic attempt at penny pinching, as HP almost immediately got intestinal cancer.
Woof. Almost immediately.
Almost immediately.
His life story is almost proof of a god because he pretty much got everything that was coming to him.
Yeah, but also, like, back then, they probably, like, lubed up cans with mercury just to fucking...
They soldered cans
Yeah.
with lead.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, like, oh, you
know
want
what I mean?
this,
Yeah.
like, these are canned asparagus.
Wait, you mean we can't
It's
use
got
this?
lead in it, but don't worry about it. It's good. We put asbestos in to
Wait.
balance it out.
Wait, you mean to tell me you're not supposed to eat the can?
Nope.
No one told
That's a
me.
bad one. And these are 1930s tinned food, so just
Yeah.
keep that in mind. As 1935 rolled around, HP mistakenly documented the early stages of his cancer as a self-diagnosed case of the flu.
Oops.
So he's like,
Woof.
"Ooh, I've got a bad one. Parts
Yeah,
of me
no,
are
that's
falling
heavy.
apart."
Oh, it's hard
So
being me with my one aunt.
He should have social distanced.
Yeah, there you go.
So after a year of enduring this Herculean case of the flu, HP is like, it's probably not the flu if it's not going away for a fucking year. HP was at this point in time, HP was in essence a fucking human hot pocket with a tumor filling.
Oh my gosh.
How old is he now?
Poor bastard.
46.
Dead.
46.
40 dead?
How old is
40
he?
dead.
So he's like
dead.
the coach of a lacrosse team right now.
Yeah, there you go.
It's
That
true.
was too Long Island.
Yeah. No,
That's a
okay.
very
Rhode
long-
Island, they like the lacrosse there too. And it's very white, and
stupid.
even though it's Native American, it's very white.
Yeah. So, March 10th, 1937, HP checks himself into the Jane Brown Memorial Hospital. And as you can imagine, 1930s oncology for late-stage intestinal cancer was probably not great.
Nah, that's back when they thought like cocaine cured everything, and if that didn't work, here's a bucket of leeches.
Yeah.
As you can imagine, they probably had him gargle with mercury and take an asbestos suppository. It's no coincidence at this point of the podcast I would like you guys to ask me the question.
All right, when does this asshole die?
Exactly 5 days after he checks into the hospital.
Oh, sure.
Excellent.
You bet your ass gut cancer.
At the tender age of 47.
46, actually. Didn't make it. Didn't make it that year. So March 15th,
Oh
1937.
man, what a tragedy! He didn't get his tentacle-shaped birthday cake.
Nope. So March 15th, 1937, aged 46, died with no fame, a virtual nobody in the writing sphere. But the story isn't done, as we all know he is a somebody present day. So
I mean, we're talking
Yeah,
about
right?
him.
weird, right? There was shit for
Imagine
me
if
to
someone
research.
talked about me like 90 years from now. They'd be like, I don't know, this man.
Are you dying
yeah,
tomorrow,
this man
Travis?
is like probably smart. Probably.
Hey, remember that
would.
jackass I used to talk online with?
What was his name?
Is he still
Dr.
alive? I don't
Phil?
know. I never talked to him anyway. Oh, he's dead.
Does anyone remember August Derleth? I told you to remember his name. No? Great.
Yep,
The
with the
whirling
wrens.
derlets.
Yeah.
No, that was David Lyle. August Derleth was the writer in the group of the
yeah.
Conan Barbarian and the Psycho guy that didn't actually write anything himself. He
Yes.
comes back into the Lovecraft lore here. 2 years after HP's death, August Derleth founded Arkham House Publishing and began circulating Lovecraftian hardbacks to the public. And lo and behold, the American reader still did not give a shit about tentacly elder gods. It's like, what the fuck?
Excellent.
What was this, like 1940?
Yes, Travis.
Yeah,
For all
so
intents
they're
and
like,
purposes,
I don't know, there's
1940.
Nazis out there.
There's Nazis out there. Very good. When the New Yorker magazine criticized the book, the reviews came back as abysmal. Determined, August Derleth kept Arkham House Publishing afloat with his personal funds, translating Lovecraftian works into foreign languages and literally spamming them across the globe.
Oh yeah, because if anyone loves white racists, it's foreigners.
Yeah.
They
Well,
get
what-
it. They
what
get
happens?
it.
What happens if the foreigners are white themselves?
Yeah, like the Norwegians.
Turns
Oh
out,
yeah, well,
yeah.
but then again,
Frenchies.
the fucking Lovecraft was that rare breed of racist that was racist against other white people, like the Welsh.
Like his wife.
Yeah.
Turns out the Frenchies fucking love Lovecraft. France
Of
emerged
course.
on the winning side of World War II with a few francs and free moments to throw towards a Lovecraft hardback. The French were already familiar with the gloomy stylings of Edgar
I thought
Allan
you were
Poe.
going to say Tintin.
No. To the Frenchies, Lovecraft was the new and improved version of Poe, just with the expanded setting of cosmic horror as the
You see, that
acting
makes
stage.
sense because I've always like explained Lovecraft's enduring legacy in my mind as Lovecraft is for people too lame to read Edgar Allan Poe. You know what I
You
mean?
said that before we started the show.
Yeah, and I wanted to get that in there while the mics were rolling because I do believe it. I think that he is like this enduring hipster icon for people who think saying, "Oh, I really like Poe" is too pedestrian. But now I would say that Lovecraft and Poe are like equal. Pretty much on the scales. Like, he's not quite at like a Stephen King level, but let's face it, like everyone fucking knows who H.P. Lovecraft is by now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of interesting take because that kind of reminds me of the Goof Troop a little bit almost. Like Tom's Goof.
Yeah.
Oh, just to let you guys know, Dan and Jesse.
Like Goofy and Max?
No, yes.
No. On Roast Mortem, I've done a lot of the beat poets, and we refer to them as the Goof
okay.
Troop because I just
Okay.
can't. I can't.
Right,
justify
so
these
like you're
existences.
comparing like
Not, not a big Bukowski crowd, huh?
No.
yeah, no, it's kind of
Bukowski wasn't a beat.
He was post beat, but
it's like comparing Whitman to Kerouac. You know what I mean? Or Edgar Allan Poe to
Dan and I drank at a bar that Kerouac got thrown out of every
Oh, yeah,
week.
the
That was-
Gunther's.
I almost picked a fight with a boomer.
I know it.
yeah, that place just set on
Yeah.
fire last week. I mean, not last week, last year.
It reopened though.
2 years ago?
it was like 3
It
years
was like
ago.
3 years ago.
Oh, well,
yeah.
I don't know. You guys like Northport
And
more
then
than
it
me.
reopened, and then we went there, and it was ruined by fucking
Townies.
Long Islanders. Classic.
But we did see a pretty good bar band do a decent Wings cover, so I was happy. I
Oh,
got
you
my
saw that
whiskey.
set? I'm so glad you caught me playing.
I'm so
Excellent.
glad you came. Thank you.
All right.
Next time, reply to the Facebook event. Thank you. Anyway,
with
as we are.
With overwhelming positive French reviews, and America already getting high on a slew of horror titles such as The Night of the
Nice.
Living Dead and Rosemary's Babies, Lovecraftian tales made themselves at home in a wave of horror popularity. A cult following accrued, and American fanatics had HP's humble tombstone replaced with a massive monolith with the emblazoned epitaph, "I am Providence." as
Which is
Jesse
As far as
said.
epitaphs go, that's lame as fuck.
Well, there's a theorized alternate meaning to that I kind of want to talk about really quick.
Okay,
Let's do it.
The monolith is written in all caps, which, makes sense. If I died, I don't want fucking lower cases
Nah,
on my
fuck that
tombstone.
shit.
Fuck that. Like, no, I'm not dealing with that. If it's going to be $25 a letter, fucking capital letters all
yeah,
day.
caps lock on.
How great would it be if it was in Comic Sans, though?
Dude, that's papyrus, man. I'm classy. I'm
Papyrus.
classy, dude.
There you go.
What are you going with?
Papyrus.
Wingdings, Travis?
No,
Is that classy
papyrus,
to you?
like papyrus is up there with Egyptian literature and lawn crews, and that is why I want them on
Wow.
my tombstone.
Don't forget Mediterranean snack bar places.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, if you put papyrus on your gravestone, you're gonna have the best groomed area
Absolutely. They're going right to you
Yeah,
first.
Steward.
in the cemetery. Yeah, because they'll go right to you, and then when they're ready to leave, they're gonna go to you, thinking that they're the truck they came out of.
This truck. This truck is small. In all likelihood, HP was just expressing his fondness and gratitude towards his hometown. The phrase can be interpreted as "I am the embodiment of Rhode Island's capital city," aka Providence, with a capital
Providence is a shithole.
But
by
if
the way, saying.
thank you.
That's great,
But-
because they put it there
Hot
before
takes.
the crack epidemic took
right.
over the town.
Before
and
Reagan
turned into a
showed up.
shithole.
If you want to put on your History Channel conspiracy hat, that epitaph might have intended to use Providence with a lowercase p, so a noun instead of the proper noun. And lowercase p Providence is a synonym for godsend. However, HP was a self-identified atheist and did not believe in a Judeo-Christian God, so the Providence in his epitaph could perhaps mean elder god.
Cthulhu!
So
He really bought into his own brand, you know?
All of that is douchey, though. Like, there isn't a single humble... there's no slice of humble pie anywhere in there. He's either saying, I am the embodiment of the capital of this great state, or
I was sent by my own made-up god that I don't believe in.
Well, you also said this great state. I mean, the full title of Providence, or of Rhode Island, is like Rhode Island and Providence, the plantations of New England.
yeah.
Man, all I know about Providence is what happens in The Departed.
Does that take place there? I don't even know.
Nah, that joke didn't land.
the Departed was Boston.
Well, yes, it was, but then there's a scene where Leonardo DiCaprio kills two guys. He's like, what, are you guys from Providence? And he fucking shoots them.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That was,
There
that
are
was clever.
Italians there, is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
well, that's why they
Oh.
You know what?
gross.
Fuck that movie.
Double meaning epitaph. Interesting. And
No,
much
it's not.
much later. Yeah, but I'm trying to do a podcast here. Much later, after HP's death, Rule 34 of Cthulhu went into effect. And
Oh,
there's
Christ.
a smorgasbord of short stories, the likes of which entitled Cthulhu Erotica, Booty Call of Cthulhu, and Cunt of Cthulhu exist.
Dude, I
nowadays.
watched like
Hey.
all right. So Cody
You see an opening,
Cody
you go
sent
for
me
it.
out to research the Rule 34.
Yes, thank you.
About Lovecraft and Cthulhu. I watched.
You haven't gone insane,
Yeah.
so I know you didn't
No,
look at
I
a Cthulhu
watched
dick.
Hunt of Cthulhu, and that was a
Did you?
Brazzers production. And it was.
I asked you to look into
it
this
was
last
Danny
night.
D. I don't know if you guys know Danny D. He's an English guy with a huge ass dick.
Yeah, Dangerous Dom.
Yeah. Okay. So I watched this porn, and there was nothing Lovecraftian about it. It was literally he was
I
banging
know.
some broad
That's
in
what
a green
happens.
tube top, and every once in a while it cut to her in fangs. It was more like vampiric, you know.
Green vampires.
They didn't bother to shove any wet spaghetti into the guy's foreskin to have a bit of a squiddish kind of look
You
to
would,
it.
you would think so,
Elder
because
penis.
Danny D is full skinned. He's a real man.
Wow, I'm uncomfortable.
Full skin.
That guy's five-skinned.
So I'm
Oh,
gonna do
man.
as
My little snuffleupagus.
As the true disgusting boy of the show, I am going to tell you about this erotica that exists around Lovecraft.
Please,
And I realize that I'm
Oh,
missing
God.
one of my pictures because we're going to look at porn together as all gentlemen. all gentlemen all
building,
look
right?
at porn
All right.
together.
Wouldn't be a Sunday night
Right?
without
You know, I mean, I would probably, even if we weren't recording a show, I'd be like, hey guys, you just want to look at some porn together?
it.
Look at
Check
this.
it out. Let's get it spicy.
Okay, so,
all right. So, please pollute the Skype
yeah,
chat.
well, I'm going to
for
pollute
us.
the shit out of this.
Oh,
Excellent.
So, as we talked about a little bit
Here we go.
earlier in the show, we all know tentacle porn exists. And I mean,
Yeah, it's
that's
Japanese.
the Japanese obsession that existed long before Lovecraft, right? So, here is a wood panel from 1814
I think I've seen
entitled
this.
Dream of a Fisherman's Wife. Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
Have
yeah.
you
It's a
seen
good one.
this
Yeah,
one?
classic.
Have you guys have seen this?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I
post it in
have,
chat
yes,
so we can
I'm
all
aware.
get hard together and get
Let me
weird
see
and,
it.
you
Let's
know,
refresh
right?
your file.
So
It's home style.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
good
chick
stuff.
getting tag teamed by two fucking octopus. So that shit exists. I don't know what it is. I think weird squiggly little tentacles are just arousing. But there is Lovecraftian porn out there. Sex toys.
Is that fucking Roger from American Dad?
He's wall-eyed though.
I like
wine. So there is porn out there, sex toys, right? I mean,
Yes,
his stories are about
like Lovecraft porn isn't like a monopoly on tentacles.
yeah, so,
It shares it. It's not a
yeah.
monopoly.
So his
though.
stories involve fish people banging and breeding with locals. How hot can you
See,
get?
I didn't
right?
know it was that old. I always wrote it off in my mind as an unfortunate byproduct of dropping 2 nuclear bombs on their country. But you learn something new
Don't
every
worry,
day.
we didn't need the bombs in America. We just have weird introverts. There is a site that Cody sent me to called Necronomicox with
Yes.
an X.
Excellent.
Gotta give it up.
Right,
for that
it's a
word,
play
man.
on something that Lovecraft wrote, the Necronomicon, which has been in Evil Dead
Yep.
and.
That was him.
Well, who's the name? It's like some Arab guy, Baba Alouche or something, that wrote this Book of the Dead.
Somehow the most racist thing you've said.
I don't know, Baba Ganoush, whatever. So,
Wow. You're doubling down.
first of all, Cody sent me this. He was like, "You should check out this site, Necronomicox." I went to it. It was one of those sites that was like, "Warning: don't go here. They're gonna steal all your information."
I saw that too.
So of course I clicked through, and I realized it's a really cool site, and it's got a lot of bondage shit. It's got some
Yeah.
BDSM, even has PVC betting. So if you're looking, go to Necronomicox.
Oh, do we just endorse
not?
them?
The show is
But
sponsored by.
they have this gem of a dildo that you can buy. Here's a few pictures of it.
Oh,
little-
more than one.
We
You
got a little
spoiled me.
Cthulhu,
Pictures? Plural?
little Cthulhu mythos going on here.
Yes,
Oh my
I like
God.
that. I don't know whether to put that in my butt or smoke out of it.
I like the color scheme.
Wow, these are amazing.
And then, of course, we all know Bad Dragon. Everyone's seen an e-girl, right? You know, shoving some
Yeah.
weird, dangerous dildo into their Lovecraftian vagina. Now there's the
Wait.
Oh, look
yeah,
at those.
there's the obvious Lovecraft reference here with tentacles, right? I almost think that this is
see
more
it.
of like if you're into the Day of the Tentacle video game and you really want to get off
Yeah,
on it. This
that's
is the
what that
taco.
is.
There's that. Look at that. It's got some girth
Yeah,
to it.
All right,
Sure.
well,
That's a thing that
Travis,
exists.
I know where this is going. You're gonna do this all night. So
No, I've got one more.
you got one
I've
more?
got one
Okay,
more.
too quick, and then let's wrap up this episode. 'cause
Yes.
we've been talking about H.P. Lovecraft and Cox all way too long.
All right, I've got one more, and if you want to come away with any of Rule 34, there is, I think, the most Lovecraftian toy I've seen on the internet from Primal Hardware, not spelled as you'd expected. It's so Primal, HARDWERE. So there's some furryism
Oh,
going
Oh,
on
like
there.
werewolf. I get
Cute.
it.
And they have an unusual tentacled dildo called the Ovipositor.
Oh, the
An
ovipositor.
ovipositor.
Ovipositor. Yes. So like
Yeah.
ovulation.
Put some eggs in
And
there.
yes, it lays eggs in you. This is their main page for their sci-fi section. As you can see, there's a very Lovecraftian fellow out there. He's
Oh, I gotta click on
Nice.
that.
Look at
Yeah.
that.
Hey,
and then
cute.
we've got some egg dildos. Where if you're into laying eggs in your vagina or your butthole,
you know
you
I am.
know where to go. You go to primalhardware.com and you can enter.
Wow.
What are they made of?
You can enter the code Travis Dog. Get 20% off your Ovipositor.
Sorry, what was the code?
Travis Dog Billionaire. 25% off.
Perfect.
Are those made of like silica gel? Like
I think it's Jello actually, or just like.
That's all I got.
All right.
So thank you for that eye-opening research, Travis. That really
Man,
brought.
look at the balls.
great. That's Cosby's true legacy right there.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Good stuff. Thank you.
All right. Well, with that said, I'm wrapping this episode up. It has been a long time, good time talking about this H.P.
Yes.
Lovecraft fellow and the Cox he has created for, everyone. They're everyone's
Yeah.
cocks.
Truly an influence through the ages.
Yes.
I would say.
Yes.
So somehow a mama's boy introvert who lost his virginity at the age of 33 inspired a frothing, undulating sea of porn and gross sex toys.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Very hot. All right.
God.
So with that being said, thank you, Cody, for the research. Dan,
welcome. Thank
Jesse,
you.
thank you for joining us for this episode of Roast Mortem
pleasure.
Podcast.
Thank Travis for the
Yeah,
dildo.
you're
Yeah, Travis.
welcome, guys. You're welcome.
You get no
Now
thanks.
Really dove on a
Yeah,
grenade
you're
for us, bud.
welcome. Now you know where to shop. Don't go to Necronomicox because it will steal all your information, your social security. But Bad Dragon, Primal Hardware, they're just furries having a good time.
But where you can go is patreon.com/roastmortemcast. Give us your money. Guys, can you plug your stuff before we close this out?
Dan, tell them where to find us.
Sure. We got podcast 1289 where we talk about flim flam, as we call it. A lot of bullshitters, paranormal nonsense, cryptids, pretty much a large gambit that's kind of a stupid, meandering word round table, if you will. People have told me that it sounds like what ADHD feels like.
Oh, I like that.
But yeah, check it out. And then we also have our sister show, True Crime Movie Club, where we watch the worst in true crime, so you don't have to. What that means, it's a movie review podcast. And we basically just talk about the case that this show was inspired by and tell you why this movie is bullshit. A lot of it is direct-to-video and cash grabby, but, you know, whatever.
Wait,
they had
Dan,
the
are you
chance.
telling me? Are you telling me that Land Before Time is bullshit?
Well, actually, like, Littlefoot, he went through some trauma. And yes, that movie.
Can
is true.
he
His mother
learn?
is dead.
Can he learn mathematics even if he speaks Spanish?
To
Littlefoot-
quote Ducky, yep.
He killed Petrie, and the Lifetime Movie
Petrie.
Network made a true crime movie about it, and we reviewed it.
Oh, I gotta watch that.
Yeah.
And then Jesse and I, we have a documentary coming out. If you want to talk about that,
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, we spent the past 2.5-3 years filming and editing this documentary about the Ricky Casso case. Those of you listening who grew up in the Long Island area probably remember this case. It was one of the big cases of the Satanic Panic of the 1980s, where a teenage PCP head named Ricky Casso ostensibly stabbed his friend Gary Lowers to death in a sacrifice to the devil. And the whole documentary just goes into the background of these two kids, the crime itself, and the absolute media circus that ensued afterwards. So that should be hitting DVD and streaming a little later this year through ITN distribution. So you can follow us on Instagram at 1289 Films, and we will have updates on there.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Thank you guys for being on the show. We really appreciate it. And to everyone who listened,
No, this was a blast.
everyone, thanks for listening. Thank you, Shane.
Yeah, thank you, Shane.
Yes, thank you.
Like, you guys want to see Bad Dragon reviews? I just do them for free.
No,
Doesn't
never.
matter. Hit me up at Travis Legion at baddragon.com.
No.
All right. Thank
Thank you.
Danky.